Title: My wife revealed her pregnancy with my wealthy brother at my birthday dinner, expecting me to break. Instead, I raised a glass. I unveiled the results of a fertility test my wife took last month, and suddenly the truth was out in the open. Chapter 1. The birthday that shifted everything. The clatter of cutlery, soft chuckles, and hushed conversations filled the elegant private dining hall at La Bella Knot, one of the city's most upscale restaurants. It was my 38th birthday, orchestrated by my wife, Clara, but a nagging unease lingered in my gut. My parents sat at one end of the long, exquisitely adorned table, chatting with Clara's parents. My friends, a few coworkers, and Clara's younger sister were all present. But the chair to my right was conspicuously empty, reserved for my younger brother, Noah. Noah, the golden child, the investment prodigy with a multi-million-dollar portfolio and a penthouse downtown. He arrived half an hour late, exuding his usual cocky charm, dressed in a tailored jacket that screamed wealth. He leaned in, murmuring something to Clara. Her laugh was too loud, too forced. I noticed her hand graze his shoulder before she slid back into the seat beside me, her cheeks flushed, her eyes avoiding mine. I'd known for weeks, but I bided my time. Precision, after all, is key. Dinner blurred by. The filet mignon on my plate was tasteless. Tension thickened the air, as if everyone sensed a storm brewing beneath the surface. As dessert was served, Clara stood, tapping her wine glass with a spoon. Clink. Clink. I have an announcement, she declared, her voice laced with theatrical glee. This birthday isn't just about you, darling, it's about new beginnings. She placed a hand on her abdomen. I'm pregnant. A collective gasp rippled through the room. And, she continued, her eyes glinting with malicious confidence, it's Noah's. Time froze. Silence swallowed the room. My mother's fork clattered to the table. My father blinked, stunned. Noah sat smirking, waiting for me to unravel, scream, weep, or collapse. Instead, I stood, raised my glass, and smiled. To the happy couple, I said evenly, and to Clara's astonishing fertility. Especially since, I reached into my jacket pocket, pulling out a sealed envelope and unfolding it. According to the fertility test she took at St. Mary's Clinic 4 weeks ago, I let the paper speak for itself. Clara was diagnosed as medically infertile. The silence deepened, sharp enough to cut. Faces paled. Not low fertility, I continued. Completely infertile, no viable eggs. Not due to stress or habits, just the stark reality of premature ovarian failure. Clara's glass slipped from her fingers, shattering on the floor. Noah's smirk vanished. What? He muttered. I turned to him, still holding the document. So unless Clara's womb miraculously healed in the last 28 days, either you're being deceived too, or she's been with someone else. Either way, congratulations, brother. Clara's lips trembled, wordless. Noah's expression darkened. I sat back down, calm as ever, and took a slow sip of my wine. Chapter 2. The fractures beneath the facade. Clara stumbled back, her face ashen. The triumphant glow she'd worn moments ago was gone, replaced by raw panic. She glanced at Noah, then at me, then at the document in my hand. This isn't real, she stammered. You fabricated it. I leaned back, shaking my head. Feel free to contact the clinic. Dr. Alvarez will confirm. I included the number at the bottom. I wouldn't want you to think I tampered with official records. Noah snatched the paper, his hands shaking as he scanned it. His eyes locked onto Clara. You told me the baby was mine. You said you just found out. And you told me you'd never sleep with my wife. I cut in, my voice low but cutting. Looks like we're both liars in your version of events. The room remained silent. Guests froze, utensils hovering midair. Clara's mother looked faint, while my mother stared at her daughter-in-law with thinly veiled contempt. Clara's voice broke. It could still be yours, Noah. Maybe the test was wrong. That's not how premature ovarian failure works, I said, still seated. It doesn't magically resolve because you want to ensnare a wealthier man. Clara's mouth opened, then shut. For the first time in years, she seemed diminished, her carefully spun web collapsing around her. Then came my second strike. I turned to the guests. I'd also like to share some news of my own. It's not as dramatic, but it feels fitting. Clara's eyes widened. I reached into my jacket and pulled out a small velvet box. Slowly, I opened it, revealing not an engagement ring, but my wedding band. I filed for divorce last Friday, I announced. Clara was served this morning. She just hasn't checked her email. Gasps echoed around the table. Noah stood, stepping away from Clara as if she were radioactive. She told me you were separated, he muttered, his voice cracking. She said you didn't care, that you were distant. I met his gaze. No, Noah, I was faithful and observant. That doesn't mean I was blind to what was happening behind my back. I've had cameras in the house for weeks. Everything's recorded, your flirty messages, her late-night visits. It's all saved, time-stamped, and backed up. Clara's jaw dropped. And here's the kicker, I added, my voice sharp with satisfaction. The business is in my name and the house is a premarital asset. Clara walks away with nothing, that prenup she never bothered to read. Bulletproof, Clara gripped the table's edge, swaying. You can't do this, please, let's talk. I raised a hand. No, you made your announcement, now let me enjoy my birthday. I turned to the waiter. Could you bring out the cake? The server nodded and hurried off as murmurs broke the stunned silence. I glanced at Clara and Noah, frozen in their guilt and shock. You planned this night to break me, I said softly. But you forgot engineers build things, and I constructed your downfall step by calculated step. Chapter 3. The unexpected celebration as the staff wheeled out a lavish cake, 4 tiers of rich chocolate and gold accents. The room's tension was palpable enough to slice. Every glance darted between me, Clara, and Noah, as if watching a live trial unfold. The candles glowed softly. I didn't blow them out. Instead, I addressed the guests. Before we cut the cake, I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. It means the world. I paused, then turned to Clara and Noah. Especially you two, for showing your true colors before I wasted more years of my life. A few guests chuckled. My best friend, Leo, who'd helped me plan this for weeks, grinned from his seat. Clara, I said, my tone steady, do you recall the prenup you signed before our wedding? You called it a formality, said you trusted me. She blinked rapidly. Yeah, but I didn't let her finish. That formality ensures you can't touch a cent of what I've built. The house, the savings, the car, none of it's yours now, Noah tried to speak. Look, man, I didn't mean for this to save it. I cut him off. You meant every bit of this. You both thought I'd be the spineless husband you could humiliate on my birthday and then stroll off together. But I saw your ending coming and rewrote it. I tapped my phone. A projector lit up the wall behind the cake. Night vision footage played, Clara sneaking into our bedroom with Noah after midnight. Another clip showed her slipping money from my desk drawer. A third showed her laughing with her mother, plotting to leave me after her degree. Gasps filled the room. Clara lunged for the projector, but it was wireless, streaming from my phone. She sank into a chair, defeated. Then came the final strike. You wanted my money, a fresh start? Good luck. Your credit cards were canceled this morning. Your car, leased in my name, was repossessed. And those student loans I co-signed, they're back in your name now. Congratulations on graduating. Clara's face twisted in horror. You can't. Oh, I can, and I did. Leo handed me a gift bag with a nod. I pulled out a champagne bottle, Clara's name etched on it from happier days. I popped the cork, poured a glass, and raised it. To truth, to clarity, and to moving forward stronger than ever. Everyone raised their glasses except Clara and Noah. I took a sip, then turned to the server. Let's cut the cake. As she approached with the knife, I glanced at the woman I once thought I knew. I felt no pain, only liberation. Chapter 4. Her world collapses the next morning. I woke to a serene calm, quiet, untainted, free. The sting of betrayal was now a faint echo, transformed into strength. I brewed coffee slowly, savoring its scent and the lightness of solitude. My phone buzzed relentlessly, Clara's voicemails, texts, emails. Fury, please, panic. You're heartless, we can fix this. You ruined my life. I ignored them all. Instead, I dressed sharply and headed to a local brunch spot where whispers of last night had already spread. Eyes followed me, not with pity, but with admiration. Clara's downfall went viral. A cousin had posted the projector footage online, and someone else captured Noah's tantrum as he knocked over a tray of champagne while storming out. The caption read, she cheated. He exposed it all. She lost everything. Birthday justice. By noon, it was trending in our circles. Clara's mother called, venom in her voice. Are you proud of yourself? Actually, I replied coolly. Yes, I hung up. By mid-afternoon, Noah's company had suspended him. A board member, unimpressed by his public scandal and hints of financial misconduct, pushed for it. By evening, Clara tried returning to the house. The locks were changed. She stood on the porch, screaming, sobbing, clutching her designer purse like a lifeline. I watched from an upstairs window, then closed the curtain. I'd filed for divorce that morning with the prenup and video evidence submitted. My lawyers were handling the rest. Clara, who once boasted to friends about marrying a pushover with money, now faced only silence and consequences. She called again. I let it ring. Sometimes silence speaks loudest. Chapter 5, the final strike. 2 weeks later, Clara's life didn't just unravel, it collapsed entirely. Friends refused to shelter her, wary of the fallout. The viral video, now with dramatic music and slow-motion edits, had become a meme, toasted at his own party. Noah disappeared. His company fired him after uncovering evidence of misused funds, money he'd funneled to Clara from our joint investments. I'd reported them both discreetly, legally, with airtight documentation. Clara showed up at my office, a shadow of the poised woman who'd tried to destroy me. Her makeup was streaked, her eyes red. "Please, can we talk?" she pleaded. I nodded to the security guard behind her. 3 minutes. She stepped closer. "I've lost everything, my job, my savings, Noah. I'm getting evicted. I'm not here to beg. I just want to know why. Why did you go this far?" I leaned back. "You planned to humiliate me on my birthday. You tried to trade me for my brother. You didn't just cheat. You ridiculed me. I didn't go far, Clara." "I went fair." She stood silent, trembling. "And for the record," I added, "I'm not proud of your losses. I'm proud of what I gained, peace, dignity, and freedom from lies." "I'm sorry," she whispered, tears falling. I said nothing. She left. That was the last time I saw her. Epilogue *, 6 months later, I stood at another celebration, my own. I'd just been offered a partnership at the firm, my reputation stronger than ever. My circle was filled with people who admired my resilience and quiet strength. Someone raised a toast to me. I didn't smile for the success. I smiled because when you walk away from betrayal with grace, you don't just recover, you soar. Was this retribution fair? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Like the story if you believe this justice was deserved, and share it with someone who needs this kind of resolve. Subscribe to Lauren's Tales for more gripping stories of betrayal and reckoning. Because here, every deception meets its consequence and every betrayal casts a shadow. Stay sharp, stay strong, and stay tuned.